All right, guys, I have been hitting these Heikin Ashi candles hard lately, and today I'm going to hit them again. Not going to really go much about, well, I'm going to show you a little bit about the Heikin Ashi candle and show you how to trade it and the signals to look for again. Have done that in my past two videos, but I want to do it again today because I'm looking at a specific trade, which is going to be your Swiss franc yen, and I'm trying to show you how to enter that trade or how you could have already been in that trade. But now we're looking for the market to retrace a little bit so we can get into a short trade on the Swiss franc yen. So I'll show you that. I'll show you how to use Heikin Ashi to catch that trade coming up right now. So stay tuned. All right, my brothers and sisters, before I get started, I'd like to give you a word of encouragement. Some of my words taken from Dr. Vadi Bakum. Starting off with Colossians chapter 1, verse 21 and 22 says, "And you who once were alienated and hostile in mind, doing evil deeds, he has now reconciled in his body of flesh by his death, in order to present you holy and blameless and above reproach before him." Right now, our country is alienated. We're hostile in mind and we are doing evil deeds. And we're lost and we cannot be found because we're trusting in a man and believing that a man can save us. We're born in sin under Adam. Adam fell, Adam sinned, and we all fell into sin under Adam. We need a Savior to represent us before God like Adam represented us before God. But who is that Savior? Who is that man? The answer to that is, in the fullness of time, God sent forth his Son, born of a woman, born under the law, but not born of a man, born of a woman by the Holy Spirit. That's why Christ is the God-man. He is the image of the invisible God who took on flesh and became a man so that he can be our representative before God. But he doesn't take on Adam's sin. Otherwise, he would have his own sin to die for and could not atone for our sin. And as a man, he lived a perfectly sinless life so that he could impute righteousness to all those who place faith in him, and then he dies at the hands of man, so that God may be just in punishing sin and the justifier of all who place faith in Jesus. My friends, stop looking for a man to save this country, because that man has already came. And he's already saved you. He has already died for you. And now it's up to you to accept that man, to accept Jesus Christ as your Savior, and put your trust and belief in him through all this pandemic and everything else that we're going through. Trust in your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. But you can't do that unless you believe him, believe in him, and accept him. All right, guys, before I get started, I feel the need to really just touch on the Heikin Ashi candles pretty quickly, just to make sure you understand what it's about. But I put out a couple other videos this past week to really help you to understand even more about it. But I'm going to go do a quick review just so that you can understand and be sure just what to look for. And it's basic. It's going to be very simple for you to understand. Basically, you could see the Heikin Ashi candle here right now, where you see basically that trend to the upside is green, and when you start getting the move to the downside, it's a red. The candles are red, and they're shaped a little bit different than your regular candles. Now this helps you to visually see the trend quicker and to visually be able to see that trend to the point where you can understand the trend, okay? Where you don't get so confused with just little corrections or any types of corrections in the market that might confuse you when you're in a trade or anything of that nature. All right, so this helps you out that way. And it's like just like we talk about Ichimoku, it's like one glance. You can just look at this chart so quickly and just tell what's going on with the price action of the chart. All right, so these candles are basically called modified candles, but they're also average bars, okay? Because the next candle opens up at the midpoint of the previous candle body. So these candles open up. This candle here opened up at the midpoint of this candle's body, not this candle's full length, including the wick, just the length of the body. And that happens for every single candle. It doesn't change. And that's why this slows the market down a little bit. That's why this is a little bit lagging. All right. So that's what helps to define the trend and so forth. All right. So if the market stays within that average, that realm, it's not going to make a big change to the candle, whereas you may see a different type of candle on your standard candles. All right, and then you start to get confused, and you get confused. You're like, oh, I'm getting out of the trade. Next thing you know, it goes back your way again. There's no need. That won't happen here. All right, so these average candles, Heikin Ashi candles, will help you a little bit with your trade. Now, remember, I did say that they are lagging, so therefore you're going to get into the market later, and you're going to get out of the market later, which is cutting up some of your profit. But there's a way that we counter that, because basically we were going to do everything on my daily time frame, and then I'm going to enter the market on my 4-hour time frame, which is going to give me a much better entry than being able to get the entry on the daily time frame. All right, and the trend starts from the lower time frame, so you'll start to see it. And yes, you could I wouldn't say go from the daily to the hourly, too big of a jump. But if you're trading a 4-hour, then go to the hourly. Okay, so that'll be something like that. So let's move on. Let's see what we're going. I want to help you understand these trading signals, basically, because they're very simple. So the Heikin Ashi trading rules basically are going to be, if you see a doji or indecision candle, that's a possible reversal sign. Those are the candles we want to see at support and resistance levels. So wherever we're looking at a support and resistance level, that's what you want to start to see as a doji, to show that that trend or that market is starting, that indecision is a possible sign of change, possible sign of reversal. So you'll see that at the support and resistance level. And it may be whatever level you're using. You got your own horizontal level that you drew, or you're using pivot points, you're using Fibonacci retracements, so forth. Trend lines, moving averages, whatever you're using, you want to see that indecision candle at that support and resistance level. Now, sometime you're not going to get that. You're going to get straight from one type of candle into another type without any indecision. It may go straight to the next candle that we see, which will be a strong buy signal, which is a green candle with upper wicks and no lower wicks. And then obviously the bigger the candle, the stronger the signal. All right. And then a weak buy signal is going to be a green candle with both upper and lower wicks. But we do not want that the wicks to be the same size, basically. Now, if your candle body is too small, then it basically becomes an indecision candle or a doji candle. All right. But we don't want the upper and lower wicks to be really the same size and length. But depending on the size of the candle, you may get that sometime. And if you get that, make sure it's not an indecision candle, because that body is small. That's going to signify that that's the indecision candle. If the body's a bigger body and it has equal wicks on both sides, that's still going to be a weak buy or sell signal. So as we're moving forward and we're looking for the sell signals, the strong sell is going to be a red candle with lower wicks and no upper wicks. Bigger candle is going to equal a stronger signal, quite naturally. And then the weak sell is going to be the red candles with both lower and upper wicks, just as we explained on the weak buy signal. So I have green for bullish and red for bearish. You can have your colors whatever you want. So it won't necessarily be that it's a green candle, but it'll be a bull candle and a bear candle based off of the color. Okay. So when you think about this, you only have to look for certain types of candles. You don't have to look for all these different types of candles we're talking about with the standard candles, dark cloud cover, so forth, 3 inside up, 3 inside down, all that kinds of stuff. We don't need to be looking for all that. We need to be looking for a strong buy or a weak buy if we're trying to buy the market. If we're going to try to sell the market, we look for a strong sell and a weak sell. Let's look at those candles real quick to see what they look like. And then you'll understand how simple it is for you to not have to get caught up into the types of candles. So this is going to be what dojis look like. So you got these types of dojis here. All these are going to be dojis or indecision candles. I call them indecision candles. I never really call them dojis. I don't want to. Now, this would be different if the body was really big and had these two wicks on the bottom and top. But this is a small body candles, and at some points, no bodies. All right. So these are your standard dojis that you see with your standard candles. And there's nothing to change that. All right. And then here's your strong buy signals, right? This is a strong buy because these candles have upper wicks with no lower wicks, no lower wick, no lower wick. See? And they all have upper wicks. And then the thing is, as the trend gets stronger, the candle bodies got bigger. As the trend got a little weaker, the candle bodies got a little smaller. All right, and then your next candle you might have saw would have been a doji. If you were at a resistance level up here, you would probably see a doji, and then your next candle would be a strong or weak sell signal. But sometime you won't get the doji, you'll just go straight to the strong sell signal or weak sell signal. All right, so that's the only thing you have to look for with a strong buy candle. And then a weak buy candle would be these bodies with the doji, with the wicks on both sides. Now these aren't dojis, okay? This is the regular weak buy signal because you have wicks on both sides. And you can see the wicks on both sides, so that makes these weak buy signals. But if I'm trying to enter the market, I'm at a support and resistance level, so I'm at a support level and I'm trying to buy the market. I either want to see one of these types of candles, or I want to see one of these types of candles. This is basically easy and simple for you to remember, nothing hard. You don't have to remember all those types of candles now. You just have to look for a strong buy or a weak buy at support. Now we're at resistance. We're going to look for a strong sell entry. So here's your support level, resistance level. And then you get these strong sell candles. And they're strong sell candles because they are red candles with lower wicks, no upper wicks, no upper wicks. And that indicates a strong sell signal. Now the thing about it, as the trend gets busy, the bodies get bigger. All right, and then eventually the bodies get smaller, or you get an indecision candle and maybe the market pauses and then continues down, or pauses and continues up to the upside. All right, but that's what you want to see when you're trying to sell the market. So if you're at a resistance point, you don't have to say, well, I need this dark cloud cover. I need this. I need to see this with the candle. I need to see that and that. You need to see this. That's it. One thing. Red candle, no wick on the upper side, wick on the lower side. Now, if you're going to sell, if it's going to be a weak sell signal, then you want to see a candle like this. This would be a weak sell signal. Now, you don't want to see the weak sell signal, but you could enter on a weak sell signal, which would be this. You have a body with wicks on both sides of those candles, okay? So that's going to be something that you're going to see to enter the market. Again, if you were at a resistance point and then your next candle, you went from a bullish candle to the indecision candle to this candle, that lets you know that you probably might want to buy that market, all right? And see, the thing about it, these stop losses, the market's going to open up. The next candle, this candle opened up in the middle of this body. The next candle will open up in the middle of this body. And you can see the thing about that slows that market down. That's what also makes that trend more seeable, and then also makes these good for stop loss levels, okay? Now, I try to stay technical with my stop loss level based off of a support and resistance point. I want to be at one of those points, and I'm going to use the upper wick then at the support and resistance level. But you can follow your trade now. Once you get into the trade, you can now follow it with the previous candle high, okay? Because now that's going to be like a trailing stop loss for you. All right, so let's now go to the chart and look at, let's go look at the Swiss franc yen trade. Got that thing set up right now. The market closed on Friday. And then when the market opens on Sunday, I believe you're going to have an opportunity to enter the market. So let's look at it real quick. All right, so we talked about the types of candles that you're going to look for. So this is your Swiss franc yen. On the daily time frame, we're looking at this zone here. I have this zone here. This is an upper zone of resistance. As you could see, when we go backwards, you could see it was a strong level there, strong there. Didn't quite get it there. We hit here and then we here. Eventually, yes, this is going to be broken. But until the market proves to you that it's going to break that level, you don't trade it any different than you would here, 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 and here. All right. So why would you go against what's happened in the past now? I mean, because basically what you would be doing then is just guessing that the market's going to break here. All right, so you need to see signs that the market breaks there. And here you got one sign already that the market is not breaking that level yet at this point. Because when this market closed on Friday, we got this candle right here, which was a strong sell signal. So basically on Sunday, you can put an entry order. Actually, the market may be a little lower than this point. All right, because remember I told you these candles are average and they're a little slower than the market. So, and it can be at points, I don't know how big it's going to be. It depends on the strength of the market. It could be a couple pips. It could be 20 pips. But you might want to look at the market if you're worried about that. The thing that you're going to do is put a market order in, and then you're going to let that thing go. You're going to put your stop loss above this level. So this is a strong sell signal already on Friday close, because we got this candle here. All right. So what I really like to do is when the market hits this upper level, in order to cut back on me entering the market late, I want to go to the 4-hour time frame. So I don't really need to look at the regular market, because I just go to the 4-hour time frame and I'll be really close to the market, and I probably could get a better order than the market. So let's go to the 4-hour. You could see where the 4-hour, so this daily candle hit this level. Let's see, that was July 8th. Here's the 9th. Here's where we changed. So this is the daily candle in this area, June 8th, right here. From this point to this point was that one daily candle that went up and hit this level and went into the level here and then rejected. But what happened was I got a sell signal on the 4-hour right here. Now this could be considered a doji because it's close. It's very close. So if you said to yourself that's a doji, no big deal. You would wait and enter on this candle right here. So you should have been into the market already at this level. So what's happening here now is you should have been in the market here. You'd have been right at this level here. But now, and you could see it continue to show strong sell signals. And then it got an indecision candle. And then a quite possible a little buy signal. We might see the market retracing itself. I'm going to go to this. I need these on here. So you could see where we are here. Now, what I'm going to look for now is a couple of things. So if you're not in the market yet, you don't have to wait. You can wait till the market opens on Sunday and then watch for the market to come back to these certain levels. So I like to draw some levels, and I'm going to put a level here off of this point. And I want to see if the market's going to be able to come back to this point right here. If the market comes back to this point, then I'm going to look for another sell signal to get into the market here, because now the market may be retracing on the 4-hour time frame, get a little retracement, and then the market drops to the downside. If it doesn't get back to that point, then I could just take once it moves, if it moves a little higher and then gives me a sell signal, I could take that sell. I may not get back to this point that I'm looking to get to. So if I don't, then I'm going to wait for the next sell signal, because really I'll be inside that one daily candle. If you go back here, I'll be taking a sell inside this candle, which would mean also that we still have this lower level off of the daily. So I'm going back to the 4-hour. I'm going to look for the retracement back to this point here. All right, and then I'm going to sell the market back down. So let's see exactly, you can mark this on your charts, what this level is. So the coordinates are going to be 113.928 and 113.872 for this level right here that you want to make a zone and look for the market to correct itself, and then look for what we just talked about, the types of candles. So you're in a sell situation, you're either going to look for a weak sell or a strong sell. weak sell or strong sell. You're not looking for an indecision candle. If you are looking for an indecision candle, you're only looking for it at this level to tell you that the market, or any level, to show you that the market's getting weaker. But you're not trading an indecision candle. You never are. And you're not looking at rejection candles. You're looking at this candle and this candle. Okay? So we could talk farther later in the series about rejection candles and how to really understand those, because with these big wicks doesn't always mean that it's a rejection candle, because you've got candles with wicks on them, and you see, so you want to make sure you're actually seeing a rejection candle and not just a regular Heikin Ashi candle with a wick on it. So hopefully this is helping you out, but again, we're going to look for this trade opportunity, and I'm going to keep you updated on it, let you know how this thing falls through. I will be getting into this trade possibly at this level again, or maybe before that. We'll see what happens, what the market does. But I do know I want to sell this market, and where would my targets be? I'm not going to set up a target yet. Reason being is because I want to see that N wave in the market, because when you're seeing it here, you could see the market moving in this N wave type formation, right? And from those movements, you can get your entry. So suppose I entered the market here, right? So I would go to the Fibonacci extension tool, and that would help me to know where my target is. So I will go to this point. This is all part of Ichimoku observation theory, and I would mark there. I get into the market anywhere here. I would be looking for the market to move up to this level here, because this is a 1-to-1 ratio move at 114.901, but the market didn't quite get to that point. All right, so that helps me to get profit targets, and also whoops, I mean to do that, want to take it off, want to get rid of it. Also, you know that when you're trading, if you get into the market here, you definitely have to get past this high. All right, that sets the level at the 2 level, because the 2 level is fluctuation, and the market never really closed above that level. So therefore, you know, when you get a sell signal, you want to get out of the market, because you're only going to get from here to this point, and then you got a sell signal. You should be out of the market because you are not able to break level 2, which is 1, 2, 3, and then this would be 4. It's the highest point. We can take it to this level over here. So it would be, I'll draw it for you. So when I'm looking at this, I say this is 1, this is 2, and the market moves in these N waves. When you think about Ichimoku, this is 3 level here. So now our target would be, once we get into the trade, we don't know where this level is yet. We don't see all this. We get into the trade here on this weak buy actually. And we say, first of all, we definitely know this is our first target. But then where would our next target be? It would be where we just showed you the 1-to-1 ratio level, how we find it with the extension tool, just following that same formation, because now you're going to get to the N wave, which should end up here. And that's a measured move in the market that Forex traders know. So when you think about a measured move, you're actually thinking about a little bit about Ichimoku observation theory. So then my target would have been that level, but instead the market went to this N level here. And I can make it here, that's the deepest, but that's the highest point, but I'll extend it to that high point right there. So that's the N wave that the market created, and now the market appears to be dropping. Now you also see what's developing, right, is well, I think we broke that level already, so it doesn't really matter much now. So yeah, I'm looking for the market to retrace, get into the market, sell at that point. All right, so hopefully this helped you out. We'll be trading with these Heikin Ashi candles a lot now, just to make sure that everyone knows how to trade with them. These are on my courses that we talk about. Even in the Ichimoku course, we're showing how to trade with the Heikin Ashi candles. But I also will put some videos on YouTube how to trade Ichimoku and Heikin Ashi together, incorporating the Heikin Ashi candles with the Ichimoku indicator. All right, so hopefully that helps you guys out. Hopefully this video helped you out. Look for that trade coming up on Sunday. Follow the market. You're probably going to watch to see if you get that strong sell signal or a weak sell signal, and then we're in. All right, make sure you got that level on your chart, because you want to make sure to watch for the market to come back to that point. And another thing, guys, what I always like to do Since I know this is my level that I'm looking for my trade, I like to put an alert a little bit before that level. So maybe I put an alert somewhere in here that will alert me. So TradingView gives you opportunities to put alerts in where you could put an alert in, and you should get an alert right to your email, to your phone, whatever. And then you'll be able to know that the market has reached close to your level. That's where you want to start paying attention to the trade. Because if you're watching so many pairs, you're not going to catch this. Because as the market moves, you better hope that you could see it. And if you don't, well, then you miss it. So alerts help you with your trading. That's another aspect that you want to incorporate into your trading once you know your levels of where you're going to trade. And you should always be trading at a level, basically. And if you're trading at levels, you're going to get alerts before those levels, and you're never going to miss out on your opportunities. So that's something that you should think about and try to incorporate. All right, little things like that are going to improve your trading a whole bunch, a lot. All right. So hopefully this video helped you. Until next time, have a great one. God bless.